Trust that you enjoyed the first session. Today we have a gospel music artist. No, let me take it back. A multi-talented gospel artist with us here in the studio. She is Precious Bach. Today we are here to discuss her incredible journey, her dedication to impacting lives through gospel music, and the power of faith-driven artistry. Welcome, Precious Bach.
Thank you.
Good morning.
So let's just start. Who is Precious Bach?
Precious Bach is a mother. She's an artist. She's an entrepreneur. But most importantly, she's a lover of God.
Right. I like the fact that you started with she's a mother.
Very important.
I'm very passionate about my kids.
Because a lot of people say, oh, why did she start with that? But then, I mean, it just shows, you know, your passion and your love for your children and for children generally, because being a mother is not just about the children you birth, it's also about other children and the community at large. And so I'd like to ask, you are a lover of God. And of course, you do this effortlessly through music. Is that an art which you chose by yourself? Or like many people say, music chose me. So for you, your journey into music, what was it all about?
I just noticed from a very tender age, 14, 15, when I was to go and wash plates, clothes, I just found myself singing. It was like it's like I enter into another world, I just start singing. It could be any song.
Okay.
So as of that time, I could hear any song, and all I want to do is just to sing.
Okay.
And up to a point that my father decided to begin to beat me. Is this the only thing you know?
Is this all
Everybody else is reading.
you're singing? Ah.
Morning, noon, and night. And sometimes I'll sing from my sleep.
Oh, wow.
And sleep out. So it's like, I think it's just embedded. Some of us are just creative within. So it's something I just fell in love with.
Okay, so at what point did you choose to do music professionally?
Professionally, at the age of 21.
Oh, okay.
Probably like, let's say, early 90s.
So there was a clearer vision then.
Yes, yes.
And you knew
yes.
that I want to do this.
Yes,
This is what I
definitely.
want to do.
Yes.
All right, and you went all out to pursue that. And so, because I mean, at a younger age when you started, you were singing anything, or all of the songs that came around you.
Everywhere.
But at some point you decided, I know, I want to be deliberate here.
Yeah.
And so why that, why was that deliberate decision to concentrate on gospel music or inspirational music, if you'd like to put it that way?
I went to my friend invited me to a particular church, and as the pastor was preaching, to be precise, it was actually Reverend Kumoyi. He was preaching, and I just found myself crying. And before I knew it, I found myself in front of the church. And of course, the experience, I had an encounter, I would put it that way. I dedicated my life to Christ. And on the other hand, I should also say I was raised in a Muslim family.
Oh,
so
wow.
my father was ready for you if you were to say,
So
I'm
that's
a
why he was
Christian.
actually beating you.
You were I mean, I would read my Bible in the toilet, in the bathroom, because I didn't want anyone to know. But after that experience, I was able to share my faith. And of course, I went through that experience of being disowned for 6 years.
Wow.
I didn't get school fees. I didn't get any. But you know, mothers, we're great. When my father was like giving everybody else stuff, my mother would call me behind and say, you know, it's okay, just take. So my mother was always there. So that encouraged me. She was supportive. And the fact that I saw her like my angel, because my dad was not having it.
Right.
But my mother was just there, you know, to support me. So that really helped my faith.
Okay.
So early age, I, gave my life to Christ, and that became my encounter.
Okay.
And for everything I did throughout, I just felt it was something I know God wanted me to do.
So there was a purpose.
Yes.
All right. You are a gospel music artist. How long have you been doing this professionally?
Professionally, well, first album released 1998, but professionally I started 1994.
Okay, so 4 years before the first album
I would say
came out.
30 years.
That's a long time.
30 years is small now.
It's
compared
small.
to something doing for 50.
I mean, but then if we look at your age,
You're trying to
and then,
calculate.
yeah, you know, and then just look at how far
Yeah.
you've gone. So, I mean, if you look at when you started and where it is at the moment, and you look at the gospel of Christ, you look at the message of love that you tend to preach in your songs, and so how would you rate the journey and the reception from the people who listen to your music?
Oh, okay. I have the privilege of working with young people on a daily basis.
Okay.
So, just like you said, it's like, apart from the fact that it's a calling, for me, it's a mentoring process where I get to impact young people.
Okay.
Because what I didn't have, my mission is to give to the young, to the younger generation.
Okay.
So my journey, from the beginning, it was a case of me growing up. But along the line, I realized that my calling was not just to sing, but it's also to birth young people, help them to harness their gift, helping them to identify their gifts and being able to support them, knowing that our challenges, for me, I don't want the young people to go through that. So if you're going to do music, focus on it.
Okay.
Don't beat about the bush, because then you can grow, you'll probably grow into it better than some of us who had to struggle all the way, especially in our generation.
Right. I mean, you're back to it. We'll talk about that in a bit, Joy. Let's take the next question.
You're a voice coach, and
Yes.
I think that should be part of your mentoring too.
Yes.
So what has been your most rewarding experience dealing with young people?
Oh, so many of them. And apart from being a voice coach, I just don't train singers, I train speakers as well. So I'm part of an organization. The last 17 years, we run competitions in England where we find young people who are able to speak without notes. So they're able to speak for 3 minutes without notes, and they get £5,000.
Wow.
Unfortunately, your age group cannot apply
No,
because
too
you're not
bad.
in year 10.
Oh,
you have to be in secondary school.
So bad.
So for me,
Can we
no.
rewind?
So the most rewarding part is seeing my students who walk into a session really timid, shy, afraid, nervous, not able to speak in front of people, and then you're able to help them discover that you've got what it takes. You can do it. And then they're able to speak effortlessly.
Right.
And that's why it's been difficult to get away from the job. Because on a daily basis,
their
I
lives
see
are
growth.
impacted.
I see young people changing. Those who are like this when they walk in,
Right.
they go out looking, yeah, miss,
Also
I can do
tall.
it. Yes, I can speak. That, for me, is my most rewarding
Wow,
moment.
fantastic. Sometime in 2006, you did perform in the British Parliament. Let's take us through that.
Well, I released an album called No Distinction, which from the title, it says there is no distinction amongst the white and the black.
Do you stay in the UK, by the way?
I live in the UK.
Okay, right.
So I wrote a song that's got to do specifically letting people understand the same blood runs in us. So
Even
there's
though
no
the skin
white,
could be
there's no
different.
black. That song, I don't know how we got into UCB, and then they called me and said, listen, this song definitely is the best contemporary album of the year. I thought it was a song, but it was actually the album that actually received the best gospel, contemporary gospel album of the year.
Oh, okay.
And for me, that was a shock. I thought one black woman in the corner, but he got
And
out
you
there.
didn't even put in for a competition. It was chosen.
No.
Right, right.
He's Nigerian.
You just took a swipe at Nigeria. Come on.
I mean Nigeria, we appreciate our own. We
Yeah,
make the
I
effort.
know.
But there, you do good.
You
they'll
get
give
rewarded.
You don't do that. Nobody wants to know. So let's just keep it.
You get flogged when you go the other way.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was a really nice experience. Good to be appreciated
Right.
for your work.
Yes. So let's look at the gospel music industry here in Nigeria. Looking at the time you started in 1994, and now, how have you seen the industry evolve? What are the things that you're happy to see now, and what are the things that you would love to see, let's say, in 5 years?
I've seen a lot of growth. I've seen people sing. I've seen gospel artists rise up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably one of the best times for gospel in Africa, because people are coming from America, from different parts of the world. They're even singing our songs, and we've got to be proud of what we have. You have Americans singing Omema.
Yeah.
Come on. I mean, we have to find a way to appreciate our own. So I believe for us, particularly in Nigeria, it's like we're at the top.
Okay.
The bar is really, really raised. Compared to when we started, it was a struggle, because if you don't have money to push your work, nobody has time for you. But in this day and age, you find people discovering people on social media and they're reaching out to them, helping them to discover and maintain and even actually grow. I think gospel music has grown in this country. But of course, on our own, on the other side, it's not the same.
But in the same vein, sometimes you hear certain things and you would wonder, oh, should this be happening, you know, with gospel artists? Should there be rivalry when the message should be about love, should be about Christ? And you hear, you know, gospel artists, you know, slandering one another and things like that. Does that worry you, especially in an age where the social media is also a tool and all those things? You know, before you could hide these things, but now one thing is said and it's blown open. So does this worry you, especially when it comes to music, gospel music artists?
To be honest, I'm always shocked. And I wonder what kind of Bible you're reading. If someone offends you, the Bible says you should call them privately. The Bible never gives you the right to go on air, to go and talk about anybody. So, I mean, I've seen a few of those. And to be honest, the moment I see it, I just swipe. Because it's not edifying, it doesn't, you know, encourage you. And especially for the younger ones looking up to us. A big artist and another big artist, you have issues, sort it out. You have to learn to be matured. So I think for me is the issue of immaturity that would make anybody go on air and talk about other people.
Right. Okay. Sorry, Joy. I mean, part of mentoring that you do, again, particularly because you're not in Nigeria here, you do most of these things over there in the UK. And sometimes a lot of people tend to think, oh, when you are in the abroad, the things of the gospel are hush-hush and restricted. Can you clear the air about that? Are you at liberty to do, you know, like it's all run in Nigeria, the things about, you know, the gospel through songs and all of that? How does it work in that system?
To sing is not a problem. Sing, but don't condemn anyone.
Okay.
I wrote a song in 2006, and I wrote it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I got several emails. I wrote it because that was how I felt. I got emails saying that, oh, you're condemning gays and lesbians. The only response I gave was, did I mention your name? I didn't. So in Nigeria, completely different. Over there, whatever you do, just make sure the idea is accommodate us. That's the idea. Okay. Unfortunately, you know, in Nigeria, you could preach anywhere. Unfortunately, you have to take permission to preach on the street. Okay. So it's completely different. But I always say, because it's a message of love, you can actually affect people without slamming them. I invite people to church, especially from work, because of your lifestyle. You can connect with people and say, you know what, Jane, what are you doing this weekend? Come to my church. It's more likely that you can work with them that way than me making noise and shouting and say, you're going to go to hell. They won't even come. They'll say, hell? Don't worry, I'll be all right. So it's completely different there than with here. But I still believe it's possible to be able to reach out to people if you can work with them in love.
In love.
In love, you'll be fine. I've got friends who are Muslims. When they have events, I attend. I've got Krishnas, because that's the only way you can connect with people. Because the message is the message of love. You don't need to pull people. No. And you can't even change anyone anyway. So it's our lifestyle, how we behave, how we live. That's how we can change people.
So let's talk about your recent album.
Single.
Yeah, single rather.
Well, it is done. A message that says to everyone around me, it doesn't matter what you're going through. God is still able to pull you through, because challenges would never go away. Anyone that says, oh, now you're a Christian, you won't have challenges, it's a lie. Challenges will always be there. But the fact that we believe that Jesus had gone to the cross to die for us, the message is clear. Don't carry your burdens, because even if you carry your burdens, you can't do anything about it. It is done. It is complete. Just be at rest. And many times when we worry, are we able to change anything? No. So that's, for me, my message is, it is done. Relax. If I can put it this way, chillax. God is in control. So that's the message is as simple as that.
And I feel that this is timely, considering the things going on around us, even
Nigeria
in
at
the
the
world today, in
moment.
Nigeria and outside Nigeria.
So this album, is it out already?
Yes, 3rd of November.
Okay, it's just
It-
this week.
Yes, it was Sunday, and the video would drop this weekend.
Okay, so but at the moment, where can people listen to it?
All the digital platforms.
Right.
They
You
can download
took a break from the
iTunes.
social media, right? Are you fully back?
I did, because I took 13 years out to raise my kids, because I just felt somebody needed to be at home. I didn't want to travel. I didn't want to do anything. In
And
fact,
you didn't
social
want to-
media.
and you
was-
didn't want to delegate. You
no,
wanted to
there
do
was
it.
who would you delegate to in England?
You pay minder.
If it was just a minder, it's a different thing. But by the
Right.
time you come back, your kids will start telling you, your head is this and that. So normally what I do with how I was raised, how I raised my kids, I say to them, my house is Nigeria. Outside my door is England.
Okay.
So
So
all
we
the
can deal with
rules-
ourselves here.
All the rules is here. So outside, and I realized if you delegate that, whatever you're trying to communicate would not be balanced. And by the grace of God today, my young man is, my first son is 30. My daughter is 27, my baby is 21. So, and they've all told me, hey, Mom, you can go.
step back.
Mom, you can go and do what you like. Which was why I decided to just, get back and now I can travel. I can do
And
what
now
I
you
need to
can
do.
okay. Okay. So now you have your me
Yeah,
time. You can do those things. But then, if you look at the journey from when you started and where you are at the moment, and look at what your kind of music is aimed at, building lives, helping people, message of hope, message of love, and just through music, because music does a lot. It has a way of just soothing people's hearts and then problems. And so the lyrics of your music, how deliberate are you at the kind of words that you choose to use in your songs?
I speak to people in my music. In my own mindset is when I'm writing to another soul. I'm writing to another human being. Why? Because I want to be able to communicate with them. I've got friends at work who are not Christians. They don't share my faith, but they listen to my music. Because their mindset is, oh, if I can believe, all right, Precious says we should believe, all right, we believe. So the idea is you're speaking to a soul, not just generally writing. I focus on, hey,
One-on-one?
yes, one-on-one is my mindset, because whoever listens to it, like if I can reach one, I can reach millions.
Right.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Would you sing for us?
Oh my God. What would you like me to sing? Everybody always asks me to sing Amazing Grace. Don't ask me for Amazing Grace.
Okay.
It's becoming boring.
Okay. Maybe you're at liberty to choose.
I should choose?
Yes.
Okay. When peace like a river attendeth my way.
Back up, you sing as well.
Yes, I do.
When sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my Lord thou hast taught me to say, it is well, it is well with my soul.
There's another backup singer somewhere there.
Toby.
It's Toby.
It is well, it is well with my soul, with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul.
Indeed, it is well with my soul, and I'm sure so it is well with the soul of everyone in the studio this morning.
Especially in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, okay. I mean, that piece is a prophecy any day, any time. When things that you're going through, things that you can't imagine, when you sing such a song, it resonates in you, and then you just say, you know what? I just want to key into that song and believe that it is well. So I connect with what you said, that, you know, it's good to minister to one's personal soul and then let the song resonate with you one way or the other. So you also teach choirs. And so I know that's huge. that's huge. Because again, when you're dealing with an individual, it's one thing. But when you're dealing with choirs, how does that work?
To be honest, it's actually easier.
Really?
It is easier.
Oh, wow.
Because you see, for example, I didn't catch your name.
Joy.
Joy. Now, if Joy was a pastor of a church, and what's your name?
Abimbola.
Abimbola has a church. If you are familiar with someone, to tell them off, it's difficult. But if you hire a voice coach, I come in, I listen to people, put them into parts. They're not doing it well. They won't take it personal because I don't know them. I'm just there to diagnose. What's the problem? You are off key. You are singing right. Okay, you that you're off key, let's see what we can do to help you.
Okay.
So it's a lot easier because I don't have any personal. It's more difficult when you're working with people you know.
Right.
Because then they might think, oh, it was because I came late yesterday, or it was because she doesn't like
And they
me,
see it
or
as
she
a
has her
personal,
favorites.
right.
So that's why it's easier to help. So it's the ministry of help, helping people to be able to achieve their dreams. But for an individual, if they don't know how to sing and you've collected money, there's problem. They have to find a way to sing.
And you can't refund the money.
You can't refund because if they cannot pitch, they cannot hear what you are saying to them. You have to say, oh. But with a choir, you can get away with it. No, that one.
Do you also do personal coaching?
I do one-to-one.
Okay.
I mean, I work with artists and I do one-to-one, especially young kids as well who are aspiring singers.
Okay.
And I actually work with secular artists that they want to develop their vocal variety.
Okay, so do you have like a school for that, or is just on a personal relationship?
Before COVID, I used to run School of Worship.
Oh.
But after COVID, it's now online.
Online,
So I
okay.
do one-to-one. I still do one-to-one.
Very minimally.
Minimally, but most people is online. So that they send me an email, I'll book a session with them,
Okay.
and I'll train them online.
Oh, wow.
So talking about online technology, how has technology helped the industry transcend from where it used to be to where it is now?
Those who are technology savvy, they should be cashing in. They should really, really be cashing in. But for some of us, the older generation, as I was coming, I was still learning how to do. The cameraman was teaching me CapCut. Oh my goodness! Can you imagine? So for technology, I believe technology has done us well.
Right.
People that you could try. I mean, sometimes I have students in America, students in China. But that's what technology has done for us. So you can actually be in your house
And then you're
be
reaching
okay.
others.
Remote work. But in our day, we had to physically go to people. I think technology has done us good.
Okay.
You can choose the one you want from it.
Right.
But I believe technology has moved us forward,
Right.
if we're being honest.
So the video for your song, is it ready? Have you shot?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So take us through the challenge of shooting a video. Did you shoot in Lagos or did you shoot in the UK?
No.
You shot here?
I actually
It's
came.
cheaper to shoot here?
No, it's not the cheap.
So why?
Not the only fact that it's
Okay.
cheaper. You have people who are passionate
Oh,
about
here.
what they do.
Okay.
Mike Age is the guy, the director that
Okay.
did my.
Your shoot here.
Gosh, I actually had to give a shout out
Oh.
because I felt they put the whole heart into
Into
what
it.
they do.
Right.
Before I landed, we had been speaking, telling me what to do. Up to my costume, it was like I became a baby. He was instructing me.
Okay.
Most people don't do that.
Right.
It's like literally Nigerians, we have a way when we're doing things, we put our
Own
whole
it.
heart to it.
Right.
You own it. So for me, I knew I needed to do it here.
Right.
And not, was it cheaper? No, because by the time I landed, it was double.
Yeah.
But I was
the
happy.
exchange rate at the moment
No,
is...
it was double in price because he brought other things on board.
That you
I
didn't
was
think
happy to
before.
embrace that.
Right.
So someone helping you to interpret your dream.
You had the idea, but he helped you bring it to life. And you're grateful
Yeah.
with the kind of work that he's done, and you're hopeful that that video will get the acceptance
Yes.
that you wish it will
Yes,
get.
Yes.
Right.
I mean, yesterday morning, I actually watched the preview and I actually was in tears. And I wrote him a lovely text and said, Mike, thank you so much for interpreting my dream.
Oh, wow.
So I feel Nigerians, we have a way, we know how to do our own thing, we connect with things, you own it, you help your artists to support. So me, I say to all my friends, go to Nigeria.
Go to
I mean,
Nigeria.
someone said to me, oh, why are you going to Nigeria? You should do it in UK. The ideas I want, this guy was able to bring it out.
Right.
So definitely Nigerians,
You'd off your heart.
I doff my heart. We're good. We're good. We're good. We're sing
Okay. Do you sing majorly in English?
I sing other languages now. I sing Yoruba. Sing Yoruba.
You sing
Okay,
Yoruba.
you sing
Yes,
Yoruba.
èmi lẹ́ni táyé ti rò wípé kò lè dá nǹkan rẹ̀ ṣe ṣùgbọ́n mo rí àánú rẹ̀ gbà Olúọ̀run ló bá mi ṣe. Chineke idima o idima 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 o idima idima.
I had to ask because I'm sure a lot of people would be wondering, Precious Bach.
Yeah.
Where is that connection?
Okay. Precious Bach is my stage name. Okay. B stands for being brave. There was a time I didn't have courage and I felt God gave me 3 words. 1, be brave. 2, consistently be appreciative of who I am to you. 3, on this journey, be resilient. You will find things that will make you want to turn back. So be consistent, be resilient. But the final one, because you will meet the good, the bad, and the ugly, be kind.
So that's where the bark is.
Because I know people will ask. So it's an opportunity to explain. Whatever you do, just make sure you follow
So be
those
brave,
things.
be
If you're going to be
appreciative.
successful,
Right.
be brave.
Right, be appreciative.
Consistently appreciate God.
And then be resilient,
Be resilient.
because the journey will be tough.
You want to back
And be
off.
kind, because if
You
you're not
meet people
resilient,
who will not want you
people
to
that
go
will frustrate
forward.
you.
Just be kind to them and go your way, because if you're kind to them, it won't affect you. You're protecting your heart. You're protecting your mind. So you're not offended. If my sister here offends me, I'm making excuses for her. She doesn't mean it, because I don't want anything to corrupt my mind. So I'm making excuses.
Has
and
that
she's
helped
okay.
you, this attitude? Like it has opened doors. You know?
Even the people that will, you know when you're older than people, especially in the UK, when you're really older than them, and so hi, you do your hi. I'm the one that knows where I'm going. You have something in your hand. Shebi is hi. Hi Jane, how are you?
Just
In my
give-
mind, I'm just thinking if I was Nigerian, I'd be a dirty slap. But you know what? Because of where we're going,
It's okay.
it's okay. So that has helped me. That attitude has helped me to relate, and I can, by God's grace, I believe God has used it to open doors for me.
Right.
When somebody's like your baby sister, I'm calling them auntie because you know where you're going. I think for me that has helped me and has protected my heart with everything I've done.
That lifestyle, as it also helps in the resonating your message in your song, because again, sometimes when people sing some kind of music and you see the kind of life they live, you're wondering, is there a connection?
I understand. I understand. Because
So-
even on a radio show yesterday, somebody was, the guy called in and I thought we were just going to ask about, was asking me, please ask that auntie, how old is she?
Really?
I'm like, what's that got to do with my...
What is the age?
In other words, they were, all sorts of things will come, but you have to handle it when they show.
Okay, in the show.
Such is life.
Okay, so just getting to know you more. Did you grow up in Lagos?
Yes.
Where did you grow up?
Lawrence in
So how was growing up like?
Fantastic. My parents, absolutely lovely, of blessed memory. I never saw them fight. So I expected that nobody should be fighting. When they have issues, my father would just hear him, Bosse!
That's your mom.
Yeah. Inside.
Come and answer.
So inside, I'm wondering,
What's going on inside?
What's going on now? And then you see that she will stay for a long, and you wonder, what are they doing inside there? As a young person, I never, like when you see parents always, bah, boo, bah. I didn't see that with my parents. So I thought that was how life, that's how life should be. So when I hear people, and I'm like, my father, my mother. I remember speaking to someone not long, and then I went to visit them, and the father called. I don't want to call the name. Then you just change it. Mama John! And I went, is that your wife you're calling? But my parents, I would always see, and my father was so loving so much that he would buy her like a dress, like lace. He would buy colored nail polish in those days.
To match up.
To match. So I expected a whole
lovey-dovey.
Lovey-dovey, but later I
You realize that not everybody's
not everybody's like my father. No.
But I mean, growing up with that mindset, and you saw your dad in that manner, you expected that every man should be like that with their family.
Yeah.
And so, at what point did life teach you otherwise?
When my father decided to marry wife number 2, as much as he loved my mother, I thought to myself, this woman that you're always doing lovey-dovey, how can you share your heart with this other extra? You don't understand. So for me, I began to think, and then also I saw a few aunties and uncles go through divorce, and I'm like, is this how life should be? So growing up, my young age, my tender age, beautiful, absolutely wonderful. But when I began to see people around me go through divorce, go through challenges, I thought, wow, so there's another side to having a loving family than what this is. So probably I would say in my 20s was when I discovered that, wow.
When did you move to the UK?
1990.
1990.
34 years ago. But I didn't move to the UK by choice. I mean, I was working for Lagos Sheraton Hotel. So the idea was just to go for 2 years, do the 2 years training and then come back. And the plan was to come back. And I told my dad, I'd finished the thing, and then my dad said, you want to come back?
To
I
where?
said, yes. He said, to where? When I've told everybody you have traveled.
Can't come back.
Did they do send
And you know
off?
the funniest thing? The funniest thing was, because as soon as I got there, my heart is so compassionate. I was sending money. He said, so when you come back now,
What will not happen?
No.
Stay there.
That was how from 1990. I was going to be maybe if I was here now, I would have been. But it's okay. It's all right. We give God the praise. We thank God.
Oh, my.
We thank God in all things.
In all things, yes. But what has UK taught you? Or no. What did Lagos teach you that made you resilient in the UK?
When I was growing up, my mother had 4 restaurants at Tejosho. We had 4 shops. So she had taught us. So at a point when I didn't have a job in the UK, I thought, okay, I looked for a job for a few months. I couldn't find a job. I then decided to run a restaurant. So I ran my restaurant for 7 years, but I shut down just before COVID because I was praying one morning and I felt I needed to shut the business down. It didn't make sense, but I did. Because if I had not shut the business down, throughout the COVID period, I would still be paying the rent of 36,000 per year.
Wow.
And you know, it's paper and pen, you signed. So it's not a case of please now, I'm not making money.
Time.
So I believe that experience of helping my mother at the shop prepared me for that period.
Okay,
I mean, to have staff, to be able to manage a business, you know, in the face of adversity, because I didn't have a job. I then decided to find a shop, began to cook, had my staff, you know, and I believe that was part of the journey. It was a learning curve for me.
you.
So that fortified me, that prepared me that even if you can't find 9 to 5, you should be able to do something with your own hands.
So what legacy would you like to leave behind for the younger generation?
The younger generation, be resilient. That's the biggest part for me. Many young people, they give up. I've seen young people, they say, oh, I got a job, and the guy was looking at me in a funny way. He doesn't like me. I want to resign. And I'm like, to where? You don't have another job. You've got to be resilient. If it means managing that relationship for you to stay until you get something else. A lot of young people in the UK, they will leave the job and sit and go and be collecting dole. They will leave a job of £3,000 a month, and they will go and collect something that will give them 300.
You say mental health.
They say mental health. Men, mental health. I will deal with that mental health. I mean, none of my children can tell me it's mental health. You dare not.
Because your house is Nigeria.
Inside my house is Nigeria.
Strict mom.
Outside, if you raise children
in the
UK, oh, you are not strict. That is what Nigerians will call bye. You'll be in trouble if you're not firm with your kids.
Yeah.
I mean, by the grace of God, today I look back and I say, I can say that this is my pension. I can go to sleep. I can sleep very well. I will not be afraid that he will call my son, the one has gone to stab somebody. No, because when all my friends were making money, I was making children. So now it's time to relax and eat the fruit of my labor.
And that labor, that's...
You got it. I wish I was closer. I was just giving you a high five right there.
Right. I'm sure there are a lot of people watching you this morning and they're wondering what makes Precious tick. And you've talked about a couple of the things this morning. The resilience. I see that you like that word plenty because it looks like the journey. The journey has been.
If you back off, that's it.
That's it.
You're gone.
So, what are you looking forward to now that you have your time to pursue your ministry, to hand over the baton to the younger generation? What are you looking forward to?
Right now, I'm looking forward to producing more songs, release more albums, travel around the world. Travel around the world to
Have a good
also
time.
have a good time. Apart from having a good time, one of the biggest passions I have is to run a school of mentoring for young people, to be able to pour into them, to encourage them that life may be tough, things may be difficult, but some people have done it. You can do it as well, which is what brings me back to my focusing on my ministry of songs, being able to encourage people, don't give up. If you give up, you give in. There's no reward, but actually if you can stay and hang in there, you'll be fine. If God can do it for others ahead of you, He will do it for you.
God is still in the business of doing things for people only
That's right.
if you ask Him.
Yeah, and you believe.
And you believe. Thank you so much, Precious Bach, for finding time to be here on the program today. It's been amazing sharing this set with you this morning, and we wish you the very best.
Oh, thank you so much.
All right, of course, it's been an amazing time with our multi-talented music artist in the studio this morning. She's taken us through her journey, and it's been an inspiring word. And if nothing, at least if you're not taking anything away from this interview, take away the word resilient.
Forget that.
Take away the word resilient. It means a whole lot. Go and do a search on that word. I tell you, that word is powerful. Stay on that word. We'll take a quick break. The conversation returns shortly.